In this video, we're going to be looking at how we can merge two different images in the style of either Connor Nickerson, if you have brought your childhood images in, or in the style of Paul Smith, if you haven't. Paul Smith, who combines multiple images of themselves or different people into one image so that they are all the characters. In this one, we can see from some work that I've done already, I've used the polygonal lasso tool to cut an outline of myself and the shadows and add it into here, and I've also used the burn tool to add a small part underneath. However, this method can be somewhat simpler depending on the image that you are working on. The eraser will only really work for me in this situation because I have the same background which has been set up on a tripod camera. So what you want to do is you want to find your eraser tool, and what you are going to do is you are going to erase all of the backgrounds that you do not want to copy and paste across into your new image. So what I'm going to start doing already, I'm going to double click on my layer, so as I am erasing, now I have this checkered background, which means nothing else will be copied across after I've erased it. You would preferably like to adjust the eraser tool so it is as small and as thin as possible for when you're going around the person. I'm going a little bit quicker than I should do, and when I copy this across, the image will be a little bit worse because of that. Also doesn't help if the computer is acting very slow either. So to save myself a bit of time, I'm going to leave parts of the stool and the background in. Hopefully the lighting will be the same as I move it across. What I want to do really is just to isolate that person there. This can be quite similar to when we looked at the double exposure technique, where you had to erase the background with that. And anything that you found helpful when you were doing that, you can also use in here. So whether it is using the selection tool to remove large parts of the screen, if you found that helpful, you can do that here as long as it works with your image. Let's just tidy up this last small bit. Okay, so now not too much left. Again, if you are using the eraser tool to copy an image across from one person to another, I would recommend zooming in, making the eraser size smaller so that you can get a better job done. Just in the interest of time on this one, I'm not going to do that. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to press Control A or Command A to select all of the visible area, Control or Command C to copy, and Control or Command V to paste it across. Now, it has come across roughly in the right place. It's pasted across now. We can see that it has moved into the area the stool has lined up properly, but we have some issues. And the main issues that we have that I can identify instantly is that images do not work together because of the fact we have the main character's arm coming down here, and that has been blocked off by our new image. So again, with our eraser tool, I'm going to make it a little bit smaller this time. I need to make sure I have the correct layer selected, and what I'm going to start doing is just removing part of the image of the main character's arm until I notice one of the edge pieces there. What you can also do as well, using layer styles, you can adjust the opacity so you can see where the character's arm starts and ends, so you can get a much cleaner cut and you know where to erase. As you're doing this, you'll need to adjust the size of your eraser as you're walking through, otherwise you're going to end up with an incomplete or very messy image. So I know I've got part there. Let's have a look if I reduce this opacity to full. Okay. Okay, let's have a look at how that works now if I pull the opacity back to full. Okay, as it is, that's looking better. Again, we do have some problems with our image because it was just a little bit rushed. So we can see that there are sections missing here from the copy and paste job that we've done across. However, as a very, very quick job, that's not looking completely terrible. And that would be enough for the minute to get a response which looks similar to either Connor Nickerson or Paul Smith. To try and improve this from here, what you would look at doing is, if applicable, you try and see how you could add shadows to the image to see if there's any way in which you can improve it using that. But for now, choose the polygonal lasso tool or the eraser and see how you get along with merging two characters into one image. Good luck.